I jump straight into it, or
Yeah, you can say prayers and then. Yeah.
Okay. 1 second, brother. Guruji, we are waiting, right?
No, you can start, Prabhu.
I'm not so good at prayer, Prabhu. If you want to just
Yeah, simple
do the
prayers.
prayer, I can start.
Prabhupada prayer. So, Namo Vishnu.
Prabhuji, if you don't mind doing the prayer.
You want me to do Prabhu? Okay.
Yeah, please.
Jnanatimirandasya gnananjana shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunadhanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिनि नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणि निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणि जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा
Krishna,
कृष्णा
Krishna,
कृष्णा हरे
Krishna,
हरे
Hare
हरे राम
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Thank you, Prabhu.
Prabhu, you can put in a single display mode. Right now, we can see your next slide also. The display setting.
Oh, so I think I should show the other screen actually.
The display settings on top, I think there you can change it.
1 second. Laptop is like dead slow. Yes, thank you, Prabhu. I was sharing the wrong screen. Hare Krishna. So please forgive me if I say anything wrong with my very little knowledge of Bhagavatam. Prabhu put my name. I think that's what I guess Krishna wants me to learn a little bit more. But thank you so much for the opportunity. So I'll try to explain Bhagavatam and what I like about Bhagavatam in a little bit. I don't think I'll need 30 minutes, but I'll use like maybe 10-15 minutes. So just to start with, Krishna is the ultimate purpose of all sacrifices. He is the enjoyer of all sacrifices. Therefore, he is known as Yajna Purusha. I thought that was a very interesting and kind of something that sums up everything. So I thought I would start with this. And the agenda for today, just want to explain Srimad-Bhagavatam in a nutshell, the way I understand it, and then the 10 categories, and then the kind of personality examples that were given in Bhagavatam that I thought were interesting, and what I liked about Bhagavatam and what motivates me to read the Bhagavatam. Those are some things I thought I would just share. And then let's get started. So to start with, Bhagavatam in a nutshell, as you know, there are 12 cantos. The very first one starts with the first and second start with the key philosophical concepts and prominent characters, and 3 and 4 explain the sarga and visarga generation and the secondary generation of the Lord. And then the fifth one explains how bhakti should be and what the spiritual path should be. Canto 6 explains how the Lord protects his devotees, and Canto 7 explains auspicious and inauspicious inclinations of jivas, which actually leads to all our pious and impious acts. Ultimately, we have to bear the fruit of all those actions. And then Canto 8 moves on to explain the 14 manus per one day of Brahma, and how the Lord's protection aspect is very vividly explained there. And then Canto 9 goes on to explain few more devotees, very interesting, lot of devotees, examples, different incarnations, and the best way to win and get out of this material world and never return is actually through selfless bhakti, and not based on any materialistic desires. And then Canto 10 explains the topic of Asraya, or the supreme shelter of Sri Krishna. 11 explains how the liberation, the deeper truth of the universe, and various spiritual paths to the bhakti are. And then finally, the Canto 12 explains the destruction of everything. Again, everything is pretty much Srimad-Bhagavatam is Krishna. So Bhagavatam very beautifully aligns each part of each canto to each part of Sri Krishna. The first and second cantos equating to Krishna's lotus feet, third and fourth onto his thighs, fifth onto his navel, sixth onto his chest, seventh and eighth to his arms, and ninth to his throat, 10th to his beautiful lotus face, 11th to his forehead, and 12th canto to his head. So interestingly, that's also what we do as part of Achamana, as part of puja. So I never realized that's actually the reason why we touch different body parts. Okay. And then there is another beautiful depiction of the whole. I thought this was the most interesting part and the most beautiful part of Bhagavatam, because it kind of, this is like everything in it, right from the beginning till the end, and then summarizing everything beautifully, as, hey, this is all for Krishna, nothing else. So it starts with Sarga, the creation of universe, and then it goes on to the Visarga, how Brahma came out of, how the sub-creation happened, Brahma coming out of the navel of Lord Krishna, and then the whole generation, different Vishnus and different lokas. So it's all so beautifully explained that even now our scientists are still discovering. And then the sthana, this is the planetary system, so well explained with our, I don't know how they even wrote all these things, but so far everything has been right. So that's very interesting. And then the fourth Hosana, the protection for devotees, also is very beautifully explained. Then the Uti means the creative impetus of karma, why we do good things versus bad things, and then how the Manvantara or the Manus will reign, the 14 Manus that are created for maintenance of the world, and then the signs of God, the Then the seventh character explains the signs of God, how when this explains Narsimhadev, how the Lord protects the devotees and then keeps, he does anything for the sake of their devotees. And then the character 8 actually explains the annihilation, how everything goes back to the Godhead, quite contrasting to Sarga and Visarga, and then the liberation, and then finally everything is just nothing but going back to the Godhead, which is Sri Krishna. So the essence of Bhagavatam essentially is explaining that, hey, the ultimate purpose is to go back to the Godhead. The topics actually help us. The first 9 help us understand the Asre Tattva, and then the 10th one. The first 9 drive towards um, everything, and then next sums up towards the 10th one. The 10th one is the Asre Tattva, how the um, Supreme Lord Krishna's various energies are, expansions are, how great, how majestic they are. Understanding them helps us actually appreciate his personal attributes and activities with his dearest devotees, and described in 10th canto. And then without studying the first 9, and if anyone just goes directly to the 10th one, how they cannot actually perceive it, how they cannot enjoy the beauty in it. So this is all so beautifully explained, I thought. And then the Bhagavatam itself actually has about 18,000 verses and more than 600 personalities. When this could have been boring without the examples of personalities, I thought, because it's giving you examples of exactly what to do and what not to do. So look at Parikshit Maharaj, Vidra, Maitreya, Dhruva, Narada. All these explain exactly how bhakti should be, what should be done in the right way. And then it also explains the other side of the coin, right? Like Daksha Maharaj, Daksha Prajapati, and Suruchi, who doesn't let Dhruva Maharaj sit on his father's lap, and Veena, who doesn't want to do any religious rituals, all these things. What not to do is also very beautifully explained with different examples. So what I like most, Bhagavatam actually it describes the pastimes and activities of Lord Krishna. It's not just that, but it also explains the Vedantic philosophy in such a beautiful way that it is easier to understand in simpler terms. So somebody who has no knowledge of anything about Hindutva or any kind of knowledge, it's so simple and easy to understand. And my favorite part happened to be cantos 3 and 4 from Sarga and Visarga. And of course, we haven't completely read the canto 12 about annihilation, but I thought that explanation was also very interesting, very beautiful. How imagine, I don't know if it's somebody's imagination or someone actually, um, uh, I mean, this was so clearly, beautifully explained. I actually started coming to ISKCON back in 2016. In 17, my father passed away, and I remember it was, I believe, Canto 3. Premanand Mataji was explaining about this generation and pro generation, how everything is a cycle of birth and death. I somehow got connected very well to it. It felt so consolating actually at that point, going through that grief at that point. But it was, I mean, that's how I actually got connected to Krishna and ISKCON, and then started doing some service as I could. But that somehow put a stamp in me for cantos 3 and 4. I somehow like those really well. And then what motivates me to read Bhagavatam? The knowledge, obviously, a lot of examples of people what to do and what not to do, and my mom. She's prepared like 10 minutes before the call every day. Anything we do has Bhagavatam at the center. She's like, we're going out. Okay, we need to come back by 8 o'clock. So she does all the calculations and everything is centered around that Bhagavatam call. I miss Bhagavatam calls, but she never does. So she's my motivation there. Thank you, Mom. And that's pretty much it, Prabhu. Hope there are no blunders in this. Forgive me if there is anything.
There's nothing blunder in Bhagavatam. I mean, as soon as you glorify it. Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhu. It was nice. I mean, I liked it the way you put it. I mean, the things that you started with. So Yajna Purusha, right? So all in all. So
Yeah,
that's how you started, and then
pretty much that summed up everything.
yeah. Then you talked about the. I mean, surprisingly, you like the creation and sub-creation. So that is the most got you confusing. I mean, very complicated information or the complicated message in the Bhagavatam, right? So
Yeah, true,
nice.
Prabhu.
Uh, thank you, Prabhu. Then
Thank you.
yeah, how your mom motivates. It's very nice. I mean, all the activities. Uh, I mean, making sure that she never misses that thing. It's very inspiring.
Oh yeah, she never does, Prabhu. She's my inspiration.
And also you, I mean, how it started. I mean, the beginning, you mentioned about your father passing away, and that's when Brahmanand Mataji was giving that talk. So, and then, I mean, the way you are involving in services, Prabhu, I mean, it's very, very, I mean, inspirational. I mean, I never see you get tired. You do morning till evening. So, whatever, I mean, physical service, right? Not the
Whatever
physical
I
service.
can do, Prabhu. I don't have much knowledge, but I do physical service. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. It was very nice, inspiring.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. This is Chintamani. Prabhu, very well prepared, very nice, wonderful slides, very attractive. It shows that you've spent a lot of time getting all the details together into this PowerPoint. And Krishna Prabhu as well as Vasanta Mataji is in our reading group. And like Prabhu said, Vasanta Mataji, even if a lot of us miss and we go in cycles, but Vasanta Mataji is that stoic,
Yeah,
kind of steady, regular
absolutely.
reader in our group. So fortunate to have her and have you. And I know she pulls you into the call, and she'll always declare that Krishna is here today. So
Yes, Mataji.
make sure he
Yeah,
gets
she keeps me on my toes. Yes.
yeah.
She reminds me every time. Yes. That's
Yeah.
why I put her in the motivation there.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for both of you being part of our group. And it's motivating for us as well, very inspirational for us. And absolutely.
Thank you, Mataji. I don't know if I would otherwise would read so many books, so many cantos, Mataji. I'm not a reader. This otherwise could have been impossible. Thank you for the opportunity. So much knowledge and very interesting every time we read it.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you for always making that effort, Prabhu. That's very important. So, yeah. And of course, like Lakshmikanta Prabhu said, all the services that you do in the temple, that's all very, very inspiring. Festivals, you take on that, all the work around putting up the tents and everything. I mean, it's amazing how you handle everything with all the vendors and putting together permissions and everything. So thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you to Vamshidhari Prabhu for throwing me into this. I wouldn't have signed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think all of us have Vamshidhari Prabhu to thank for a lot of this.
Anyone else would like to share anything? Okay. So we'll end here, Prabhu, then. We'll end here, Prabhu.
Yeah, yes, Prabhu. Yes, I
Thank you
thought
so
you were
much.
asking someone.
Yeah, no.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you
so
for the
much, Prabhu.
opportunity once again. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Hare